Thursday marks the one-year anniversary of one of the state's most horrific disasters, the Lahaina wildfire. Joining us now to talk about rebuilding, settlements, and where we go from here is Governor Josh Green. Aloha and good morning, Governor Green. Thank you so much for stopping by with us.
Thank you.
Friday, you announced the Maui wildfire settlement that totals $4.37 billion. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm grateful to have worked through this problem with so many parties. That's what I've been doing for the better part of the last 2.5 months, which is to bring everyone together. It's incredibly complex, but the reason to get a settlement is so that people can begin to heal. To bring that $4+ billion back to the community will help us to give money to people to build their houses back. Some people lost loved ones, to relocate back to Maui for a lot of people who couldn't find a home, so many things. And so I really pressed hard, one, to get it done so that people didn't have to wait many years in litigation. It could take 5-7 years. And also I wanted to make sure that a lot of that money, in fact, most of that money stays here in the islands. A lot of times when these large settlements are reached, far too much money goes to the a certain subset of the attorneys who take money away. So I fought very hard to make that a success for our local people.
We heard from Hawaiian Electric about $2 billion is going to come from them. Any word on how much will come from the state?
I know exactly how much, but I'm going to be a little cautious about disclosing information until they ask me to disclose everything. I will tell you it will be partially paid for by the $250 million of insurance that we received from buildings that burned, state buildings. And I'll work with the legislature to make sure it doesn't put a dent in our priorities for housing, affordability for our state, and so on. It's very important also to know that we'll be spreading out the payments. It's something I negotiated over the better part of 3 years, so it won't come all at once. And I personally also intend to use some of the victory monies we have from the Plavix case, which we talked about in one of our interviews before. We've won a $928 million settlement from them. So a lot of that money will flow to our recovery. Just so people understand this is a huge settlement. We will pay close to 20%. The state will cover about that. And what this does is it means that Maui will not have to worry about going bankrupt. It means that HECO will not go bankrupt. They'll pay just under $2 billion. But with them not going bankrupt, that means we won't see someone come in like a vulture and take them out, raising all of our rates. I'm very sensitive to make sure our energy grid stays intact, that people don't take advantage of our state. And there were investment bankers and others on the periphery that had no special interest in Hawaii that would gladly have come and taken advantage of us. So I'll explain in great detail exactly why each party paid what, but mainly the focus is that we are able to heal and that most of the money goes to the victims.
And without disclosing that state financial aspect, how do you feel like this will impact the state's budget moving forward?
Well, by keeping it down around 20% for our state responsibility, which really means state and county if you think about it, because anything that happens at the county level, the state also has to be supportive of. What it will mean will be we don't have, say, the better part of a $7, $10, or even $12 billion settlement. In the early days of the negotiation, the numbers were astronomical, and I was able to get it down to $4 billion. But at the same time, I want all of that money to go to local people. I don't think you're going to see any significant impact statewide on budgets because it's spread out, but we had to heal. And I did not want to see us spend a couple $2 billion litigating. All of that money would be wasted and lost. So people will not see cuts in education. They will not see cuts in any of our basic services. But I will reiterate, my strategy all along from the beginning, before the fire, has been to get some impact fees from travelers, to pay for disasters, to pay for going forward needs. It was the right thing then, it's the right thing now, and I'll work with the legislature. Hopefully they'll agree with me and come forward with some modest impact fee on travelers, because that will pay for these kind of events. It's the right thing, but again, it's a big political lift.
Looking at the recovery process, we are coming up on the one-year anniversary on Thursday. When you look at what we're doing as far as housing, we do have some boating access reopening. Where are we at in recovery?
Right now, we're turning the corner on recovery. So the first year was basically survive, get people into hotels, and then get them into long-term housing, and begin the process of change, which is building these houses. So we're building 1,044 transitional houses. We already bought one building that's 175 units. We're building 450 units on the state side, 169 on the federal side. You can see some of these houses go up now. People will be moving in on the 9th, which is just amazing. So that's that part of it. And then there's a whole nother big policy piece, which is at my recommendation and the mayor's recommendation, moving some of the short-term rentals back into long-term rental status for our local residents. It's about 7,000 units that would be affected on Maui, which would mean rentals for local people on Maui, which will bring down the cost of rent, and it will also help us because it's going to take years to build permanent housing. We have about 6,000 units of permanent housing teed up over the next several years, but you know how hard it is to build in the islands and in Maui in particular. So lots going on, and let me put another plug in. A great mahalo to Kamehameha Schools, who also has participated as an equal partner to the state in this settlement. We'll get into the details and numbers later. But they've driven us in a very smart way to look forward to build housing. And we're going to build housing together. So I'm in the process of finalizing a memorandum of understanding with the excellent leadership over at Kamehameha Schools. They have a big piece of land there, and that will be another place for us to build housing with some of the resources that the county gets. So transitional housing this year, permanent housing in partnership with KS, permanent housing as people get their permits down in the area that was tragically burned, and settlement for those who lost loved ones or displaced so they have money to choose what they want to do. So this will be the year of rebuilding. Last year was the year of survival.
Housing so important for all of our local residents, especially those in West Maui. I want to switch gears a little bit. Back to school today for the public school students. We do have 147 routes that did get canceled, affecting about 3,000 students. You had an emergency proclamation go out on Friday to help with the bus driver shortage that's impacting that. What do you think that'll do?
Well, it will help. You know, late in the week, one of the contractors told us suddenly that they were unable to hire enough drivers. And that's pretty messed up. I was very angry to hear at that late date that they told the superintendent of schools that they were not going to be able to meet what is their contractual obligation. So I heard from Trish LaChica and one of the representatives on Big Island that they were very worried. They were correct to be worried. And so I used the emergency proclamation powers to enable us to use some of like the drivers that drive buses for tourism, some of the smaller buses that we have. This has been an ongoing problem. We have workforce challenges because we just don't have enough people to fill all of the jobs. These are pretty good jobs. I think they pay like $28 or $32 an hour, but it's still a technical job. People have to get credentials. This will soften the blow, but you know, I'm mad that they didn't come to us much sooner with this concern, and I expect more professional behavior from our partners.
All right, mahalo, Governor Green, for joining us this morning and sharing all this information.
Thank you very much.